Absolutely.
I think
There are
continuity
one,
goes a
two,
long way
three.
too. So one day,
There are 4 teams in this next tier, 5.5 wins. The first one being Michigan State.
5.5.
Mm-hmm.
Year two, Jonathan Smith. Big fan of Aiden
I like the
Tyler.
over.
I like the over as well. I think they go bowling.
Rutgers 5.5.
Ethan Kaliak Manis. I'm gonna lean under. The last Manung guy. They do have one of the top edge rushers in O'Neal. That's just a guy that's gonna wreck a game, make things a little frisky for like a certain teams here and there. Doesn't mean they're gonna win games. So I'm gonna lean under with Rutgers, which pains me because everyone
Yeah,
everyone
it
knows how big of a Rutgers guy I am. But I mean, they really
it
underachieved. They
does.
had a lot of hype last year, and they underachieved tremendously considering what people were projecting them to finish with 9, 8 wins given their schedule, and what they finished 6-6.
I think so. I'm not
Yeah,
even really sure, but I know when
I don't see
when
it.
if you're going to be a really good team and you're going to beat expectations, you don't have arguably your best or your second or third best defensive player leave after the spring period and go to a team that is going to be good.
Yeah,
Like that guy probably sticks around. And Torre, right, is the linebacker who ended up
yeah,
in Miami. But if Rutgers is going to make some noise and be better than people expect, like I doubt that kid is in the portal.
yeah. And by the way, like use Chicago sweatshirt. Just side note, use Chicago original Big Ten member. By the way, so just repping a little bit.
You're just
Repping
really
Big Ten.
repping the conference.
I just love the conference.
Um, here's one for you, Brad. UCLA 5.5. Floor
Over
is yours.
hammer it. They brought in Nico. I've said it, even before Nico came, I probably would have taken the over, just because of what they've done. Like if they were rolling out Joey Aguilar, I'd be taking the over. I think bringing in Nico
You
brings in
think I'm
a
taking
whole
the
new
under on a
dimension.
Tino Sinceri coached team? No
No,
shot.
no shot. I think they're gonna have a great year. They're for sure going bowling. It's just about. It's more so about where they're at. Come the end. Are they at 9 wins or are they at 6 wins? And that's just the reality of their situation. We'll see what happens. They played really well down the stretch last year. I think people forgot about that. They really came into their own, but now they're coming in with a, same defensive scheme. They lose a lot. They are going to have to replace 5 NFL draft picks. Schweschinger, Jay Toya, Kane Madrano, just Ethan Garbers didn't get drafted, but he's on a roster. Devin Kirkwood's on a roster. They got to replace these guys. So we'll see what happens, but I'm taking the over. I really like what they're building and really good culture, bringing back a lot of alumni to help out with recruiting and spring showcases and things like that. It's not the same as what's going on in Indiana, but I think for what UCLA is and where they're at funding wise, a lot of weird things going on, lawsuits, things like that. Athletic department that's been in the red for about 10 years now, and they brought in who is that Dave Myers, the Warriors ex-Warriors GM. He used to play at UCLA. They brought him
Bob
in.
Myers?
Bob Myers. They brought him in to kind of oversee things around there to hopefully turn things around. So a lot of weird stuff going on, but despite that, I think they go bowling next year by bringing in Nico. I think that was a huge kind of needle mover that they needed badly. So I think they'll get it.
The last 5-5 teams, Wisconsin.
Over. I'm a big Luke Fickle guy. They brought in Billy Edwards, who I think is a good,
Over.
placeholder. It's just tough to me to consider. I think this is a little bit of brand bias on my end, but just the idea of Wisconsin not going bowling for about 3 years just doesn't really make sense to me, comprehension wise. I think, yeah, brand bias. I'm taking the over, but yeah, like I said, this might be a no touch situation, like very similar to
Yeah,
Nebraska,
I'm with
where
you.
I don't really have a read on it.
Like Fickle could be a good coach and they could end up being good, but then Billy Edwards is the quarterback, and I've seen the ceiling of a Billy Edwards led football team. So I'm like, I'm not. I just and off the top of my head again, I believe their schedule is tough, but again, 6 weeks later we get to do this again. So
Yeah, and in a loaded
I'm
conference,
not
you
a
could
huge
be a decent team and go
believer.
5-7.
Yeah, absolutely. The next team for 4.5 wins, that's Maryland.
Under. I think there's a couple bottom feeders in this league going into next year, and I think Maryland might be one of the boys. Even though I'm hearing some good things about the Washington Martin quarterback battle. So we'll see. I'm hearing a lot of hype around this Washington guy, and we'll see what he's able to do. He might be a game changer for them. But right now, in May 20th, I'm saying under, considering we took two of their best players ourselves.
And then there's two teams at 3.5. Northwestern. You're the
3.5. 3.5.
You're the yeah.
Oh my God, is Preston Stone good enough to?
I'm saying under.
This is a school that always tends to surprise people, but I mean, if they still had Fitzgerald, I'd be hammering the over, but they just don't have him there anymore. So I'm gonna go under. I see them as another bottom feeder in this league.
I agree. And then the last team, Purdue.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while to rebuild that one. I'm taking under. Where are they at? What, 2.5?
3.5.
3.5.
Here's my hesitation. There's a lot of people who think Odom's a good coach. He brought in a lot of talent. Whether that talent can stay on the field is a different question. We're talking about like a kid who was dismissed from the Georgia football team for conduct. So these are the types of people that Purdue is taking a chance on. That being said, like on the recruiting trail, like they're starting to build a little bit of momentum. It's like I don't want to be completely disrespectful if I start to see signs of life. I'm not telling you they're going to win 6 games, but I think they might win 4.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I think Odom might be a good coach, and I think this
They were
Signetti-Odom battle
bad last year.
But were they bad or were they just poorly coached? Because like their 5 best players went to the Oregon, Ohio State, like
yeah, it's
true.
It
was like
they're not there anymore. That
no,
even speaks more volumes to where this roster's at.
I don't want to keep saying nice things about Purdue, but I'm starting to see a couple like green flags out of their football program that don't exactly thrill me as an Indiana fan and make me feel like this is going to be a pretty cool football rivalry. And that obviously 66-0 is a message, and they competition wise took it the right way. Obviously you want it to kill the program and them to never be good again. But if they're going to take it seriously, and this is going to be a must-see matchup for Indiana football for the next 8 years, like I can't say I can complain about that. Like I want to play meaningful football games.
That's true. And in that sense, I think we've expressed the sentiment that we want Indiana Purdue to be a meaningful football game. With that being said, I'm not going to mind if we have 3 more years of just belt the ass.
I listen. I like I just said, like I'm not telling you they're going to be able to compete this year. I'm not even telling you that they're going to be able to build a team that can. I don't know what the ceiling is, but I got to acknowledge that 3.5 for a university that has a decent football history and does care about football at least a little bit. Like this is a team that beat Ohio State in the last 5 years. So
true.
Under. I don't like it, but I gotta acknowledge it.
Under. I think I see it as a clear like bottom feeder. Like I think Northwest. Like when I pick like Wisconsin over, I don't know what their schedule looks like, but like they're going to take care of Purdue. They're going to take care of Maryland. They would take care of Northwestern in my mind. So that's why, I just see those 3. When we did our quarterback rankings, those were the schools with the 3 worst quarterbacks, and I don't think the rest of the rosters are all that better. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, yep. Plus 50 over Purdue this year. Yeah, I see that as well. I don't even know who their starting quarterback is going to be. Is it Singleton? Is it Brown? Who knows?
I'm just saying. I would be lying if I said I'm not starting to see some momentum for them.